Hey Cheap, the Quintessence event series is just concluding, and in the last days we were able to grab ourselves and even expertise the new commander, the new archer commander Qin Shi Huang, and let me tell you guys, he is busted. He's probably the best commander in the game right now, and in today's video we will have a look at his skills, at the new kit, the one-of-a-kind kit he is providing. We will talk about pairings, who to pair it. He's reviving an old commander, like one of the oldest commanders in the game, is now one of his best pairings you can play with. Also, we're talking about equipment, talents, and accessories. There's a lot of changes compared to the traditional meta. Buckle up, grab your popcorn. This one is going to be fun. Let's have a look at these skills, and starting with the 1 Conquer 6 active skill, and you can directly see the new mechanic which was introduced with this commander in the game, Rage Consumed. Instead of having like the rage requirement, which you needed to stack up rage over the turns, and once you have 1000 rage you can activate the active skill. This commander now needs to consume said rage, and trust me, he's gonna consume a lot with all the skills we have here. This commander's troop gains the Eternal Emperor effect for 10 seconds. Whenever the troop deals direct damage with a basic attack via the Iron Pierce Sprawl skill, it also deals 60% of the damage to up to 5 other nearby enemy troops. So what does it mean? Basically, the Eternal Emperor effect is what makes you go AoE. All the red numbers which you see, which are not the red numbers you have from directly targeting an enemy, it's the Eternal Emperor effect, and it deals 60% of what you do targeting one march. It's 5 other marches, so in total you're gonna attack 6 marches, making a huge lot of damage. The Iron Pierce Sprawl skill, what is it? It's the second skill. We now have a look at it. Whenever this commander's troop launches a basic attack, it spends 100 rage to convert the damage into direct damage. The direct damage is equal to 100% of their troop's basic attack damage factor. This commander's archer units gain 20% march speed and 30% defense. If their troop contains only archer units, they also gain 20 health. So whenever you have a basic attack, you're consuming 100 rage, and instead of the white numbers you now have the red numbers. Instead of the basic attack, you're doing skill damage now, and it's 100% of the basic attack damage factor. In addition, you get a lot of stats, march speed, defense, and health, which is really great to provide survivability for this commander. The third skill, and this is the expertise actually. Third skill is a non-enhanced variant. It's called Thunder Shakes Earth, but we'll focus on the expertise because there is no really a change instead of increased numbers. So if this commander's troop is in the field and has not been in the building for at least 10 seconds, it gains the Eternal Emperor effect for 10 seconds whenever it enters combat, can trigger once every 60 seconds. Whenever that troop deals direct damage with the second skill, the Iron Pierce Sprawl, or the Eternal Emperor effect, so the AoE, it deals extra direct damage to all targets and drains 15 rage for them. The extra direct damage has a damage factor of 250 and it's waning. This means if you can trigger it multiple times a second, but if you trigger it 2 times every after trigger, so the third, the fourth, the fifth even, deals 25% less damage. Spending 25 rage per target means if you trigger it 2 times, you will consume 50 rage. If you trigger it 4 times, it's 100 rage. And the fourth skill, Valor Bests Despair. If this commander's troop is attacking a field troop, if they are the primary commander, so that's why you usually want to run him as primary, their troop gains 500 rage upon entering combat. Their troop takes 10% less normal damage, which is good against like Liu Che or Bai Chi because it's 10% less smite damage. Whenever the troop takes direct damage, smite damage, or combo attack damage with a 300 plus damage factor, it spends 40 rage to reduce the damage by 40%. It can trigger a total of 6 times per second. Each enemy troop can only trigger the effect once per second. So let's say we have Fu Bing, who with his active comes around and does direct damage of 2700. You're spending now 40 rage, which goes into the active, reduce the damage by 40%. That is just insane, and you're even having the secondary commander with all his skills. So let's have a look at his pairings, what you can play to get the most out of Xin and the secondary commander to destroy everyone in open field. And the first pairing, of course, gonna be Zhu Liang. Like, he has a great AoE skill, a lot of damage, has a lot of useful skills. Skill damage bonus, which in this case is all damage because you're only doing skill damage with Qin. Also the expertise, which gains extra rage for the commander. You're consuming a lot, so you need a rage engine going all the time. This march is probably the best single march you can run when you're playing one archer. It's destroying the enemy in combat. You can also play him with Herman. Herman has a good active skill, and also with every stack of poison you do more damage, and once you have 25 stacks of poison you're triggering the Forest of Fallen Eagles again, doing even more damage. Here it could be a problem that you could go to a point where you don't have rage you can consume anymore. So there you would need to adjust the talent tree or the accessories to get a horn extra, so you can have a lot more rage. Also, commander which is actually surprisingly is YSG, the old commander which I said is being revived when it paired with Qin. And of course he has a good active, but the second and the fourth skill is what makes him great. The second skill, whenever you launch a basic attack, it has a 10% chance to gain 100 rage, so you have the rage engine going, you're not gonna lose a lot of rage. Also you have a chance to gain a 100% bonus to archer attack for 3 seconds, which is just insane. And also of course the fourth skill, 50% more skill damage, which is like, it's 50% all damage, which does so much. So let's have a look at the talent tree you're gonna play with the commanders and also the equipment. Having covered the skills and the pairings for Qin, now let's have a look at the talents which we are playing. And you can see there is some difference. Because we don't have the rage requirement anymore, we are not dependent on too much rage gain. Of course we are dependent, so we do not have a lack of rage which can be consumed, but the skills when playing with Zug or YSG, we're gonna have paired with Rejuvenate enough rage so we can skip out the Feral Nature and instead allocate some points towards Whistling Arrows and Phoenix Tail Arrows, which all do extra stuff when launching a basic attack. Here we have a 10% chance to deal extra direct damage to the target, or with Whistling Arrows we have a 10% chance to gain 25% bonus to damage dealt, which of course is, with the primary source of damage being basic attacks converted into direct damage, it's gonna be a lot of extra damage. For formations, we are just normally playing Witch, especially Hunter being great with a boost to skill damage, amplifying even more. Of course we could also play Crazed to gain some extra rage, but there it's optional and it depends on the commander which you pair Qin with. If you have like Herman Prime where you might need some extra rage, this could work pretty well, especially when having like a double inscription with Furious or with a Robust, so you can get some extra stats. In terms of equipment, there is some slight changes to what will be played as meta. It's not the 2-2-2 set anymore, neither is it a 6-piece Dragon's Breath set. Also the accessories are going to change. Let me show you what I mean. When having a look at the accessories first, we of course gonna play the Ring of Doom to have as much damage as possible. But with the Horn of Fury, the extra 50 rage gain we can have, it's not gonna have a huge impact on your rage cycles. So instead we are gonna play the Pendant of Eternal Night. Sure, this was not deemed meta anymore, but with only dealing skill damage, so this being 5% more all damage constantly over every single turn, it stacks a lot. For the equipment, we're going to play 4 pieces of Dragon's Breath to get those extra Dragon's Breath set bonus of 3% skill damage, and we're playing the Ancestral Mask of Night and the Hydra's Blast. That's about it for today's video, for a quick guide on how to play Qin correctly. If you got any questions regarding the new commander or in general, write it in the comments. I try my best to answer them. Also, if you want to check out my previous video in the past I made, which was made about mine and Baushi's account progress of 1000 days, feel free to check it out. Else, I thank you guys for watching. Peace out.